Hello everyone, my name is Notepad and I write games for fun. So, what are we working on tonight? We are working on Project Tactics in all its beautifully autistic, oh good god, everything's breaking, in all its beautifully autistic ways. Now, you may be wondering, what do you mean autistic, Notepad, and what the hell am I looking at? Well, you are looking at about an hour's worth of work, getting 4 tiers of troopers across the entire thing. There's a lot to this, by the way. There's a lot. And this is just the night. And I just wanted to do one just to see if it worked more than anything, just to make sure all the numbers looked right and such. But here's what we have so far. I had to change the infantry to militia for the night, and we have infantry, skirmisher cavalry, skirmisher cavalry can go to lancers, hussars, and finally dragoons, or they can go to knight errants, cataphracts, or praetorians. But no pattern isn't off, just a Roman bodyguard. Yeah, but I couldn't think of a name. Simple as. And on the other side, we have our infantry that move into pikemen or sergeants. Sergeants move into wardens or great shields, while pikemen move into halberdiers or champions. And generally, all the troops are organized as their name, tier 1 in what they are, whether they're foot, cavalry. Actually, I should tier 3 cavalry, tier 3, tier 2 foot, and then their basic stat line, as well as what the highest grade of armor they can equip, the kinds of weapons they can equip, as well as whether or not they have shields available to them. Now, the big thing is this goes sequential. So, for example, I start with my shitty militia and I upgrade to infantry. Alright, cool. You know, I have basic hand weapons and light armor. However, I want to move up to sergeant. So I keep everything here. And let's say a sergeant, I want to go to warden. I still have the keep yourselves together. Morale checks are +1 for each sergeant. But if I move to warden, not only do I have keep yourselves together, I also have guardian. So kind of moving it like this, roughly. And same goes for pikemen and champions. Are these perfect? Absolutely fucking not. This is a clusterfuck. I'm not gonna lie when I say that, because this is a lot of stuff and things and numbers trying to get everything going. But roughly speaking, the base numbers is 5 for your initial class, 8 for tier 1, tier 2, 11 for tier 3, and 14 for tier 4. So tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4. This is the number of attribute points that you get per one of these. Everything should be roughly accurate. I do not make any let me just put the word foot at the end of half of these. Now you may be seeing some of these stats like, wow, Notepad, that warden's toughness is massive. How do I ever pierce it? How do I ever fight something like that? The answer is archery, the exposed condition, or magic. Pretty much if you can plink away at enemies, that is how you kill them. Because fun fact, doesn't matter how tough or how scary or how strong you are, if you get shot in the face with a goddamn crossbow bolt going 100 miles an hour right into your eye socket, there's not much you can do. Same as goes if you are exposed. If you are exposed, you can't really do much. Your toughness isn't really factored into anything, you just kind of have to pray. So the knight is a lot about focusing on making sure that their guys aren't exposed hardly, because that's where they're weakest, as well as trying to compensate for the fact that they are very susceptible to ranged attacks as they move the speed of molasses. And that's being kind about it. Getting ring-a-ding-ding-dings. Nanai. You also have the Notepad add-on Get Shit-Faced ASMR. Hopefully everyone likes that. And so this is just the knight. Now you may be wondering, so you're just going to copy-paste this to the Google Doc? Oh no. No, that's a terrible idea. But what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to write everything out like this. And from there, I'm going to have to go to another, it's another program that does trees, and I'm going to have to make it in there, and then post that to the main book, as I could probably do it another way. However, I don't know how to. So if you absolute cool people out there know how to do this without making me want to blow my head off using the Kurt Cobain method, I'm more than willing to ask for help, because I'm desperate. And yeah. Please? Something? Anything, really. I'm down for anything. Why are you not even? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this, and we're going to make this the warlord. You may wonder, like, oh, why are these all color-coded? It is mostly because I wanted to keep things organized for myself. And let me just make sure we want to go to the warlord, and our starting unit is the fighter. Fighter, foot, tier 1. Our basic stat line. And we're going to do light armor. Actually, no, we want to do yeah, light armor, basic hand weapons, and then no unique tactics or maneuvers. There we go. And how do we want to upgrade these? So roughly speaking, we have the, if we scroll up a little bit, we're going to go back down to our, actually I should hit that, captain advancements, the knight, and then we have the right of heroics and the right of victory. Right of heroics, right of victory. And roughly we're going to, we go down what these roughly are. I'm going to open up my handy dandy notepad here. So the right of heroics is all about big, scary hitters, low defenses. And the right of victory, diverse selection of troops to cover niches. So, we're going to start down here, and we're going to do a gladiator. Bump you up by one, and put a tactics on there. So why I chose 5, 8, no, it's 5, 8, 11, 14, is because the base character, a base starting captain, is 10 attribute points. And roughly speaking, by the time you get a tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 units, you're going to be about above that. You're going to be in about 15. You're going to have pretty solid attribute spreads, and you're going to be a lot tougher. I want tier 4 to be like a really big reward for you, the player, to get to. Like, this is, I nurtured this, dumbass boy from a lonely fighter with a stick in one hand and a, little shield in the other, to being a monster on the battlefield, so they just don't care, and they're cool and awesome, and I love them. The other thing is that's how I'm also going to be basing their cost off of how much their attributes are. So roughly speaking, a 500, roughly speaking, it's your attribute times 100 monies. I'm literally thinking about adding a little section of, for an example, to recruit this, it requires a basic recruit, it costs 500 bucks. And having a joke about bucks being a long and storied history of being part of an old empire and by King Buckules or something. I'm just making bad jokes because that's what I do. Cracking a cold one with the boy ASMR. But we're not here. So we've got our gladiator. Now we get to post the values here. Paste special, post values only. And we're going to go down the Berserker Bazaka. We're going to bump you up by 1, bump toughness by 1. Light arm. Actually, we need to do great weapon. Martial weapons. Actually, Berserk. Actually, attack. Actually, they're going to get something special. Add to 11. What is whipped into them at fear? Oh, all damage. Whipped into a mad fury. The squad deals plus 1d6 the damage for as long as they are in combat, but they cannot retreat. That's your drawback for the Bazaka. And we have our. And what would be another good one for? So if you're upgrading the Gladiator, going more down the Berserker tree, and if we're going more down the so actually let's just do Control C, paste special, paste values only, Control C, Control V, and medium armor, great weapons, Sacred Warrior. And we're going to buff your toughness up by 1. We're going to bump your strength up by 1. And we'll bump your attunement up by 1. So overall, that's 2, 4, 9, 10, 14. No, actually, wait. 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Need to bump you up 1 more. Bump your strength up by 1. No, actually, we're going to bump your toughness up by 1. So, let's see. Your Gladiator goes from 5, 6, 7. 8, so 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gonna add 1 more. We'll add. We'll add 1 more to the strength value. Yeah, if anyone watching has random name suggestions for terrifying warriors that will cleave your head off and probably eat you, go for it. I'm more than willing. I need more. Berserker. Bear warriors. Actually, heavy armor, martial weapons. I see. 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. And then 4, 9, 10, 14. And 3, 5, 1, 2. Bump your attunement up a little bit. And then dump the rest into your toughness by 2. Dump you up by, put you up by 4. So that's 5, 10, 11, 15. So if we do, keep your attunement at 1, then bump your toughness to 5. So that would be 3, 8, 9, 14. Actually, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the Sacred Warrior toughness to 3. I'm going to bump up attunement to 3. Out to 14. Actually, out to 17. Squad is emboldened in by the sacred chants of the war. My sacred devilish chants. They gain how do I want to do this? The squad deals. Let's see. Secret War chant to 11. Squad's enemies are shaken by the horrific yelling of the squad's warriors. Squad's troops. All enemy troopers lose 1d6 health. Must be in combat. Must be in combat or within charging radius. Charging distance. Refusal to die, passive. Bear killers regain +1 health every round. So kind of going down this track right here, the Berserker track, your main goal is to get stuck into combat a lot and just either rip and tear your enemy with the Sacred Warriors or just outlast them with the Bear Killers. So now we're going to go down that. What would be a good war? Sprint. Foot tier 3. So 1, 2, 6, 8. There we go. And we'll put them in medium armor and martial weapons. Aspiring hero. What's a good way of wording this? Making a name. S. Actually, we'll bump this up to 2 health every round. Actually, make it 3 health every round for bear killers. How do I want to word this for the aspirant? Because the idea with these ones is that you go find the hero or the villain route. So gladiator, aspirant, hero, or villain. Which, having heroes in your ranks pretty much makes everyone around you fight better, while having villains pretty much makes them fight better. So it's making a name. Soldier's Day, Heroes tomorrow. Actually, I want to. We can do an Atu 14 check. Passive. All surviving squad members. Actually, a squad member. No, how do I? God damn it! How do I want to do this? No, actually, glory kill. Passive. Every time the squad puts an opposing squad into critical, they regain +2 health. The aspirant regains +2 health, and from there we hit copy and paste values only, paste values only. Snap with my finger, snap everything back into place. Heroes, so 1, 2, 3. Heavy armor, martial weapon. Presence, passive. All allies, squad member who's have +1 DR, have +1 damage resistance. That's literally all they do, and villain. So 5, and bump up tactics by 1. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12. Wait, something's not right here. Something's not right. Okay, 9, 10, 11, 12, 17. Wow, you are. Yeah. Actually, let's bring you down 1, so I can now bump you up by 1. Villainy tactic. Actually, we're going to do attack 14. The member of the enemy squad. Actually, a single enemy trooper of the opposing squad. And deals 2d6 damage to them. If they place the 2d6 minus toughness in damage to them. If this puts into critical, they deal an extra plus 1d4 damage to the rest of the squad. Yeah, that's a lot of information, but I pretty much this tree right here is a lot about making your guys just better overall. So, because you got to remember, the aspirants go, whether they go down hero or villain route, is still going to have glory kill. And that does mean, like, they're going to be healing the more times they kill people. So, arguably, you want to put the aspirant kind of synergizes better with villain because you can do a lot of damage and immediately heal yourself. While putting yourself down the, kind of the hero path is making sure your own guys don't die. And to kind of be able to pull your allies out of danger. Why? Because you're a hero. You're the shining sword of goodness and niceness in the world with your sword held high and shield on the other, and you're ready to save the world or die trying. And now we go over to here. What would be for the right of victory? Let's take a look. What would be a good... regulars. I believe I misspelled regular. Regular. There we go. Regulars. And increase that by 2 and increase their strength by 3. Basic hand weapons. Ranged weapon. Pretty much this tree is a lot of kind of turning your men more and more into kind of the hardened killing machine, killing machines. This one's all about being fancy and really kind of throwing yourself out there to kill an enemy fast and quickly and deadly. This side's all about being very practical and being very malicious. As you kind of see by the right of victory for the warlord, a lot of their things is, being able to traverse over hostile terrain. You don't suffer penalties for being outnumbered. Or, pretty much he can, if he succeeds at a tactics 17 check, you can just move your squad any direction you feel like. Or, living to fight another way, other day. You are kind of fighting back and forth. So we're actually going to say... gorilla. And we're going to bump your dex up by 1. We're going to strength up. We're going to bump your tactics up. So we're going to reduce that back down. We're going to instead bump your tactics up by 2. 2. So 7, 9, let's see, actually, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Let's get the toughness in there a little bit more. So we have gorillas. Skirmishers. Well, that's a good way of doing this. Isolation, we're going to do attack 14 check. The squad designates a member of the opposing squad. Opposing trooper of the other squad. They do not contribute their attributes to this round of combat. Must be in combat. Basic range. I'm gonna bump you up by 5. Skirmish lion. Attack 11. The squad may make a ranged attack and move back 1/2 their movement. Their movement. Movements in any direction. Rating Cal, actually. Post values only, Raiders. And we'll actually do ranged. Cavalry. How do I want to word this? Not quite. My idea for this is a unit. So raiders are mostly cavalry. The idea of the raiders is that they're kind of cavalry. They can shoot. And they get in, get out. Armed with pretty decent tool. armed with fairly decent tools across the board to be pretty valuable. While the I know, there's cavalry tier 4. That's cavalry tier 4. Light armor, martial weapons. Loot and pillage. The Raiders Raiders heal plus 2d6 health every time the squad inhabits a feature. Pretty much this tree, kind of going down the regular skirmishers, the Raiders, is being rather than being over here, which is the fight, kill, die, and kind of being up here a little bit more, kind of going from irregulars to guerrillas to these two. This path is more fighting pitch battles and retreating back. This is very much hit and run. You're not really supposed to dedicate yourself to any large-scale fight. You don't need to. So your Raiders, you're going to get 2 tactics. You're going to bump your toughness up by 1. You're going to actually bump your strength up by 1. So that's going to be 9, 10, 11, 14, perfect. And your skirmish cavalry, you're going to get an extra dex. You're going to get an extra strength. And you're going to get an extra tech. Pepper. Tech 17. The squad lets loose a quick volley of ranged fire on up to 3 units. 3 units. Actually, no. How do I want to? Harassment, attack 17. This squad does not commit to a full fair fight, and instead deals plus 1d4 damage to their opponent, to an opposing squad. Deals 1d4 damage to oppose. Actually, does 1d6 damage an opposing squad within 3 units. I'm going to bump that down to 14. The squad cannot be engaged during this time. So, kind of the thing with, actually I should put martial range weapons / cavalry. / cavalry. So the idea behind harassment is that you are effectively going to pepper your foe a little bit before actually engaging with them, while not being fully committing to a fight right away. It's kind of to allow your enemy squads that are kind of already damaged a little bit. They are going to take a little bit of damage right off the bat, which could put one or two members into critical condition or weaken the initial squad. You not really want to. You might want to start with harassment. You know, you're plucking away at a few people, but again, like, skirmish cavalry shouldn't really be in that kind of fight unless you can back it up with some heavier forces to kind of assist them. Their entire goal, the kind of the skirmish cavalry and the raiders, their goal is to very much harass enemies before they get to your main lines and wear them down bit by bit. And now we have, so cannot be engaged in combat. So what would be no, I know. Mercenary versus revolutionary. Fight like it's payday. Passive. Yes. The squad deals +2 damage to the enemy for every mercenary in the squad. But Notepad isn't technically all these people mercenaries. Yes. 3, so 6, 10, 14. Actually, I'm going to put you back down to light armor, medium armor, and then revolutionaries, foot 4. And your guys are going to be just fast. Actually, no, you guys are going to 5. You guys are going to jack your tactics up a lot. You, on the other hand, going to get another rank of toughness. You also don't get any special kind of equipment. Let's get flag carrier, passive, all maneuvers are at a +2. That might be real broken. But the idea is that they're not really actually contributing all that much to the battle. Yeah, they have some medium armor, but they're effectively, you're going to have 11 health on these guys, while vice versa, you're going to have, let's see, 20. Yeah, you're going to have 20 on a bear killer. Like, they're as strong as an irregular health-wise, which isn't really saying much. But without any of the speed of the skirmisher cavalry or skirmishers, or any of the actual decent weapons of the mercenary or anything like that. No, you are kind of struggling with everything with revolutionaries. The bonus of having one is it's It's the cheerleader effectively holding up the banner, screaming, screaming in the middle of a battle, relaying all your orders. Useful to have one. Doesn't mean you actually want to, bring one along in case you are getting desperate. Alright, that actually wraps up the Warlord section. And we're going to duplicate this, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and, oh. Welcome to, I knew this section was going to be the longest. This was just going to be the absolute just numbers game, and me just having to come up with various names: Magus, Troops, Magus, and utilitarianism. School of utilitarianism. School of battle. I haven't got to the bishop yet, but half his units are going to be just like explode and do you'll be cool. So we're going to have to worry about the neophytes. No armor, basic hand weapon, and wands. So 5, 8, 11, 14. Yep. And neophyte. And there is foot. There you go. Yeah, they're going to be foot tier 1. Otherwise known as I'm shitty and nobody likes me. Titles for a magocracy. Yuki. Magus. Let's see, what do I... let's see, Acolyte, Ogre, Enchanted, Shoot Mid, Minister. What the fuck is that word? Vinificus. Oh. Ew. Ew, 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 ew. I don't like it. I don't like it. That reminds me, I should actually bump you up by 1. I'll leave you 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's actually 4. Do I just want to keep everything? Because I misdid the numbers. I think it works. You know what? I think it works, right? After you make it past the first initial being a fucking loser stage. You actually make it to the real boy stage. Yeah, everyone like making it to the real boy stage? Yeah, okay, we're gonna make it to the real boy stage. Don't worry, everyone. I can read your minds already. It's fine. It's fine. Just ignore the nightmares. Just double checking some stuff. Unfortunately, I have a sore in my mouth. That sucks. And I don't know how I got it. Let's see, actually, what's an invoker? This is from Minecraft. This is a Minecraft thing. No. Okay, combat magician. Come on, give me a name for a combat magician. Thanks. I hate it. I don't get anything. Alright. Okay. This is fine. So what we're going to call this guy is a... We want it to sound vaguely scholarly. Oh, battle wizard. That sounds too... Soldier wizard? No. Tier 3 should be when you actually kind of gain the wizard title, wizarding title. Neophyte smagocracy. Oh, I know. So actually what I'm thinking of, if we go here, is it's down this tree at least, and the neophyte tree. So the utilitarianism. So effectively you're going to have the school of shielding, and you're going to have the school of buffing. And down the combat and down the battle school, you're going to have a lot more direct offense versus area offense versus area. So we're going to actually call you... You're going to be a scholar. Scholar to your 2, you're going to bump you up by... At 2 by 1. Your attack by 1. At 2 by another, and your dex by 1. So 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, yeah, 8. Scholar, and then we're going to copy and paste values only, and Control C, Control V. Shielding Arcanist. Illusionary Arcanist. And the illusionary is going to gain a 1, 2, a 3. Well, the shielding arcanist is going to gain 2 right here, right off the bat. And only 4, so you get a little bit more of a gradual improvement with the illusionary. While the shielding gets a little bit more. And we're going to... And tier 3. Bubble at 214. The squad is encased in a magical bubble of protection that extends. To casters and squad units around them. No one may enter, and no one may leave the bubble. Caster tier 3. Caster tier 2. Caster tier 1. Caster tier 3 illusion. Mirage at 214. The squad conjures a number of conjures casters in squad illusionary figures. Illusionary squads. A rival squad is considered to be engaged until they make a success. Or considered to be engaged with the illusions. Recharge 2. Recharge 3. And pay special. Shielding mage. Shielding sorcerer. Sorcerers versus mages. Well, the shielding mage gets okay, I guess we just deleted their stat lines. That's fine. Everything's fine with that, right? Right. Everything's fine with getting your bloody fucking so we want to bump you like that. Bump your dex down by 1. Your tech to 3, so that's 7, 10. There we go. A little bit more of a raw advancement in. And that means And the shielding mage is going to get 7 there, and another bit of tactics. So you're kind of seeing the biggest issue with mages is that they have very low actual ability to defend themselves, and that's kind of on purpose. The knights and the warlords don't have a whole lot of attunement, so anytime they get hit by a big spell or anything like that, they're going to be taking damage. They're going to be getting hurt. Alternatively, the mages are very good at distance, and they're going to be able to do damage. Their biggest issue is that they are they're getting their shit kicked in if they get into melee combat because they have no toughness, and they can't wear any armor really, so they're kind of regulated down to having to rely on other members of the squad to really soak that damage up, and they're not actually giving that much into an actual scrap. They are mages. They are hitting you with their sticks, and they're hitting you with staves and basic clubs, things that aren't really going to actually contribute to any meaningful matter to when Sir Orcs-a-Lot, the murder machine, bear down on you and beat you to death with his club. Nothing's going to, being able to do some sparkly bits with your magic missiles isn't going to really do anything. But that's kind of the point, is that you're not capable, really, of doing that. Oh. But this is why you get to dual class, why you get to have 2 classes to kind of play around with and steadily advance yourself with. I might put in a system, being this, characters who are inherently magical, such as, hey, I choose to be a bishop or I choose to be a magus. This is what you can kind of basically do. You have if you're not focusing on your magic abilities, this is what you do, but if you are, blah, blah, blah. But I don't quite know how I want to do that yet, so this is what I'm doing. The shielding mage, the shielding sorcerer. Sorcerer gets a little bit more, but they also get a teensy bit of strength and a teensy bit of toughness. I said a teensy bit. So 8, 9, 13, 14. Perfect. Ring-a-ding-ding-ding. Hello. How are you? Who are you? And what do you want? Talking politics. Yeah. Maybe that's what I'll do. That's how I rake in the big streams. Just have big, exotic opinions on politics. Really net in those viewers. I don't know, declare that I'm a radical anarcho-monarchist with syndicalist values. That'll bring in people. Ooh, let me just get my socks off, because we don't need those. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky chair. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy, paste special, values only, Control-C, Control-V. And the shield, we'll start with the shielding mage. Pretty much what I want to be is that the mage has a lot more direct abilities, while the sorcerer is kind of more gradual, I'd say. So, elements. Yeah, so let's light step at to 14. I think we only have to roll a 7 then. Actually, I want to make that a 17. Out to 17. I still may need to fix up the numbers for all these, so none of these numbers are actually solid. Haha, fun. Kill me, please. I beg of you. I beg of you, monsieur. Save me. Light step. The squad is not affected by terrain. By difficult terrain. Is not affected by difficult terrain for the round. Recharge 2. And for the casters in the squad. Casters in the squad rounds. Natural protection. At 2, we'll call it 17. These squad summons forth assistance. They create a natural barrier in a unit between natural barrier. Actually, enveloping shroud at 217. The squad and any other squad 1 unit away. Has the hidden condition, meaning that the enemy cannot engage them for the number of casters rounds or until the squad attacks. And then we move on to the illusionary mage, and the illusionary sorcerer. And like before, we're gonna bump you up to 6, and we're going to bump the tactics up to bump their tactics up to 5. Because you can move actually fairly fast with mages, but the issue, because mostly they are walking around in robes, and anytime you find them, they're going to get stabbed to death. So you need to protect your boys, or they will get killed violently, and it'll be your fault. All your fault. Yes, yours. You, the single person watching, it'll be your fault that all your troops are dead. How could you do this to them, you monster? I don't want you. No way. Go away. So actually, 11 and 14, and then the sorcerer 5, 4, a little bit more gradual, and still absolutely no ability to defend yourselves. That's good. Maze of the Mind out to 17. The squad casts a a spell that makes the a squad within the number of casters in the squad plus 1 unit. Within the number of casters in the squad plus 1 units. Take a full movement in any direction of their choosing. Probably just get these ones done tonight and then work on the bishop, knave, and hunter tomorrow. Because this is, I might even just dedicate some time this evening to, even tomorrow to wrap things up. God, it's already Wednesday, Jesus. We already got you, so, and oh yeah, that reminds me. Recharge 4. Actually, recharge 3. I have a recharge on you. Yep. Recharge 4. Double or nothing at 217. The squad seemingly doubles their numbers. The numbers in the heat of battle, they gain the the opposing squad gains the outnumbered condition for the number of casters per number of casters rounds. There we go. Recharge 4. Alright, we did it. We got one half done of this. Now we get to move on to the other half. Oh gosh. Actually I haven't come up with a name yet. Warrior Mage. Let me see. Oh gosh. Squishy wizard. God, what am I looking for? Video games. Tell me what I'm looking for. Let's see. Armageddon Mud. Be a good. What's it? Kensai. Sword Saint. Let me see. Come on, give me what I'm looking for. Welcome to TV tropes, where it sort of helps and sort of doesn't, because it's dumb. That's not what I'm looking for in the slightest. Come on, what am I looking for? Everything is an example of everything. You gotta remember that key fact of fucking life. God, yeah. Alright, so effectively speaking, what I want to do is copy, paste, and we're going to go warrior caster, warrior caster, and down here we have the burst caster, and from there, if we select that, hit copy and paste special values only, and we're going to call you the blast magician, and the explosion wizard. 10 points to Gryffindor gets that reference, am I right, boys? I'm dying on the inside, please help me. So you're going to be a red maid. Blue mage. What's the gimmick with blue mage again? Recurring jobs. Mystic Knight, is that what I'm looking for? Yeah, that. There we go. So instead of warrior caster, you're going to be a spell fencer. And we go down the mage knight route. Pretty much spell fencer into red into the red mage route, pretty much more spells, or being able to cast in combat a little bit easier. Being able to cast things in combat. So, your Notepad, what should I actually call you? We're going to call you a combat magician. Yeah, I think that works. Combat magician. Actually, I combat, not acolyte. And other terms for mages. So we're going to do combat. Combat thaumaturge. Combat thaumaturge. And what's your gimmick? So yeah, bump you up by 1, you up by 1, and finally toughness by 1. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that reminds me. I'm going to probably put Dex 2. Yeah, put Dex at 2. So you got a little bit more spread around. You got a little bit of strength, got a little bit of toughness. So 1, 2, 4, 6. 4, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, perfect. And then we'll start with the Spell Fencer. And the Spell Fencer's obviously going to get one of those. One of those. Oh, there we go. I'm getting a phone call, everyone, so give me one moment. I'm a professional, and I definitely know what I'm doing. I don't. Now, welcome to the wonderful world of Notepad Add-on gets endless amounts of calls anytime he streams at 2:14 for the casters in squad turn. Right. Dookie, so combat there. It's going to be a caster tier 2 and caster tier 3. Hey. That will be a good one. Oh yeah, that reminds me, and recharge 2. That would be a good spell for a red for kind of the red mage who's a little bit specialized in a little bit of everything, whose main benefit is that they're a little bit tougher, have a little bit higher attunement, a little bit faster. They're just kind of like a spell fencer plus rather than kind of so actually enchanted weapon, enchanted actually elemental weapons, ATU 17. The squad deals in extra plus 1d6 9 damage plus 1d6 for casters in squad rounds with a specific element. Recharge 3. Now we're gonna do caster tier 4 and caster tier 4, and then we just gotta shift some numbers around here. Bump you down by 1, bump strength up by 1, dump your dex by 1, bump you up by 1, so 5, 7, 9, 11, 7, 10, 14, 5, 9, 11, 14. So you can wear up to medium armor. Martial weapons. Battle magics. Passive. The squad is able to cast magic while engaged and not suffer the exposed condition. Perfect. So that brings us to the blast magician up here. Combat thermometer. So we increase you by 3. We're going to bump you up by 2 and bump your toughness up. No armor, basic hand weapon, blast caster. Blast, ATU 14. The squad casts a spell that deals 2d10 damage deals 2d10 damage to all squads in a single direction up to cast equal to casters in the squad units away. Enhanced blast. Actually, we're going to turn blast here. We're going to put blast there, but instead with burst caster, we're going to put magic missiles. ATU 14. And what this does is the squad shoots out a number of magical missiles that deal 1d4 damage to a squad within 3 units. The number of missiles are equal to the number of casters in the squad. 1d4 damage squad within single unit. The opposing squad reduces damage by their ATU score. So theoretically speaking, you could absolutely blast someone with like 5d4 damage, like right off the bat if you have just one of these, if you have a bunch of casters. So explosion. Caster tier 4, blast magicians, and finally the explosion wizard. Caster tier 4, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Control C, 8. And Blast Magician, we're going to bump you up by 1, and we're going to bump your toughness up by 3. Up by 1, I mean. So 8, 9, 11, 14, perfect. And the Explosion Wizard is going to go all into their attunement. Explosion, ATU 20. The squad casts an explosion spell at a location within a number of casters in the squad 9 units away. Dealing 4d10 damage to those at the epicenter, 2d10 a unit away, and 1d10 to 2 units away. So the thing with the Blast Magician is you're doing a lot more reliable damage versus the Explosion Wizard, which the entire point is that you point at something you dislike and have it explode and have everything in that radius die. Actually, I should do the explosion wizard goes into critical condition. Recharge 1. Actually, recharge 3. So pretty much you use your wizard as a tactical nuclear weapon. Recharge 3. Recharge 3. Okay, perfect. Alright, so we got our Magus troops done. So I'm going to call it there for today. We have 3 more of these to do, so I'm going to actually duplicate you 3 times. Put the copy of troops bishop, duplicate, copy of troops knave, and 1 final duplication, and copy of troops ranger. So, probably what I'll do is I'll get maybe 1 or 2 of these done tomorrow. Kind of in between things. And do kind of some more of a brief explanation. If I don't stream tomorrow, the reason is because I am dedicating the day to just doing this, because I know this is exactly as pulse pounding as watching paint dry aggressively. So I would rather do something a little bit more exciting and explosive. Ha ha ha, get it? Explosion wizards. So, thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. So let me just wrap up, deleting all of these. All right, so 3 done, 3 to go. Thank you very much, and good night.